Keep your dial fixed on 107.1 FM, the passion for broadcasting.
107.1 FM. You are listening to your hit music radio station.
Running a witch hunt against officials of former President George Weah's government. President Joseph Boakai's government recently issued include former Finance Minister Samuel Toure and Central Bank of Liberia Governor J. Aloysius Talu. Information Minister Geraldine McPeer tells me that the Boakai government will not hesitate to go after proven corrupt officials, former or president or present.
The Boakai government is not witch hunting anyone. It will not make witch hunting a part of its programs and policies. However, if the Boakai administration got reports, be it from the GSC, be it from the LACC, be it from other anti-graft institutions that indicate that there are people who breached the public trust, and the Ministry of Justice determines that persecutorial actions are possible so as to hold people accountable. That's exactly what the administration will do.
But the other way is that there was no due process. Moved from office some officials of former President George Weah's government for alleged corruption. Eugene Nabwe is the chair of the CDC National Executive Committee. He tells me that former President Weah is a man of peace who operated within the confines of the Liberian laws during his administration.
The government of Liberia, under the then leadership of former President Weah, have always been in the interest of peace, in the interest of accountability. But it is quite surprising that this new government under President Boakai has resorted to using the judicial system to further political aims. And why are we saying this? He just told me that these people were ordered arrested. It will surprise you to note that they were ordered arrested, and even as we speak, the Ministry of Justice is now going around calling people to convene an emergency grand jury to present evidence to that jury. It is an inverted way of doing things. Why would you arrest somebody without even using evidence before the grand jury to Liberian law?
Okay, so a pleasant morning again, and welcome to the program. It's a pleasant morning. Yes, sorrow may tarry at night, but joy will surely come in the morning. And so I know for those of you who in the night had those sorrow tarrying, we know that this morning, but early this morning, the joy have come. Let's celebrate. The fact that we got life today means that, look, we are still alive and counted among the living. Good morning and welcome to the show. And the program is Sky Morning Live. Today is September 3rd, 2024. My name is Julius Boki. I'm a regular presenter and producer. We're going to have breakfast together from now to 9 o'clock. Oh, yes, from now to 9 o'clock. So good morning and welcome, folks. We're not going to go too much into politics today. The thing about MPOX, I'm going to give you some information about that up to 8 o'clock. And at 8 o'clock, we join the VOA to bring you 5 minutes of news. And after that, we will continue. At 8:15 this morning, I'll be hosting folks from the densely populated area of West Point. They're going to be here. They have some qualms, and so they're going to be able to express what exactly their qualms are, particularly as it relates to a market within their locality. So they're going to be here. 2 persons from West Point, good friends. They're going to be here this morning to express their dissatisfaction. So folks from West Point, get glued to your radio because your guys will be here this morning, all in the interest of quote-unquote advocating for all of you. So good morning and welcome. My name is Julius Boki. On a Tuesday, we are here again. So let's take a break. When we come back after the break, we'll go straight into the issues. Okay, so welcome back to the program Sky Morning Live on Sky 107.1 FM. It comes your way every Monday, from Monday to Thursday, from 7:30 to 9 o'clock. We make our own very sweet and short. That's how it is. And it will keep you in suspense for the next day. So good morning and welcome. I want to play the voice of the Executive Director of the National Public Institute of Liberia, Mr. or Dr. Anyway we want to call it, Dube Chris Nya. This issue of MPOX, people maybe don't know what they call MPOX, is monkeypox. It's spreading gradually. A few weeks ago, we listened and heard that the World Health Organization wrote the Liberian government informing them about the existence of MPOX, not just in Liberia, but in the world. And so there were some measures being taken by UNFIL. But yesterday, Mr. Dr. Chris Dubenya, the Executive Director of UNFIL, announced that we have a case in Sino County. And I'll play the voice so that you will hear what you're going to say. And thankfully, he called a particular location. So if some of you are watching on our Facebook pages and YouTube channels and you are in Sino, it is about time that you take note and govern yourselves accordingly. What I will do is that I'll play the voice, and then I'm directly on the website of the World Health Organization. Hmm? And they posted some questions and answers about mpox. So I'm going to read them out so that you out there listening on the radio or listening via the radio this morning, you will know what exactly mpox is. You'll know the symptoms. You know how it spreads. You know the risks involved, the age, the bisexual, and other means. How can you protect yourself? What do you know about mpox and sex? And many more. So there's many questions and answers on the World Health Organization website. So I'm going to read them. I'll ask the questions and I'll answer the questions. And we're going to do this up to 8:15, at which time the folks headed by a good friend and brother, Eric Kwame, going to be here to discuss the issue unfolding in West Point. Let me play the voice of the Enfield director first. Then I'll come to the questions and answers so that you get a fair idea of what it is. Let's go here. Okay, he's here.
There were samples sent from Sino County. Assignment called Jidepo. The very district, the very area is the Dunwoken. Is the Dunwoken. So those of you who are from that area, you can imagine the terrain we were talking about.
Okay, so you got it. He called Sano and called Jidepo and Dodoken. So for those of you who are living around that area, it is important that you take note. If you have a relative within that area, that particular part of Sino, Dano Jejedepo and Kanake, you know the names. I'm not familiar with those names anyway. You can just call them to be on the alert. And thankfully, he said the affected person doesn't have a travel document or travel records. That is, the person have not traveled from Sino to any other county. So it is important that we observe these things. Look, that is how Ebola, that is how COVID-19, that is how they spread. Because we were not careful. We were not careful. Liberians will always take things, I mean, they don't take things seriously. The same way when COVID-19 was coming, I remember Ebola was coming, we started condemning it, saying that, look, that the white people want to eat money or the government of Liberia. Yeah, I remember people saying that. On several occasions, when we opened the line those days, especially Ebola, what they were saying was that the government of Liberia wanted to eat money from international community, so that's why they are saying we got Ebola in this country. And then Ebola then now was in, I think, Southern Africa, specifically, I stand to be corrected, Congo also. But then they said, no, the Liberian government was designing a strategy to eat money from the international community. And that thought and perception led us to where we went. The same thing happened when COVID-19 came. For COVID-19, when it came, people, because of the experience of Ebola, some people took it seriously, but others were still doubting. So we had doubting Thomases. And I'm sure that's how it's going to be again. People will be doubting. We'll still have doubting Thomases as it relates to the mpox, or maybe you want to say the monkeypox. Liberians, when it comes to sickness or illness, is not something for us to overlook. And that's why I'm going to take my time to read the questions and answers for you. We might not finish it, but I'm praying that we'll finish it. And these are things that are on the website of the World Health Organization. And guess what? These questions and answers, were posted on the 17th of August, 2024. To tell you that it's a recent thing. In fact, I think I got a letter where the World Health Organization wrote our government. I don't know, to find it in my phone now is a problem for me. I could have read it. Oh yes, it escaped my mind, man. I should have done that. But anyway, I mean, we all know that those are things that happened. These letters were sent. The letter was sent, I guess, not just to Liberia, but the world, to all government in the world, because there is international crisis, health crisis, if you will. Let me see. But I mean, does it really matter? Can I just go on with? No, I can't get it. I store it on my phone. I think it's all the way. Let me see. No, okay. So let leave it. Let me give you my question and answer. So it's important that we take it very seriously, because that is our health. For me, my point is that I'm praying that it doesn't enter Montserrat or other populated counties. And I hope MPhil and the Ministry of Health will do everything possible to making sure that people are treated on our side and everything will just calm down on our side. Because when it comes to the populated counties like Montserrat, like Magibi, Nimba, Bong, and other counties, populated counties, I mean, the means of its spreading is very, very, very slim. So I think they have to do something. But let's go quickly to some of the questions and answers before the guest can appear. So the first question on the list on the World Health Organization website, questions and answers, the first one is that, what is mpox? And in parentheses, they have monkeypox. It says mpox is an illness caused by the monkeypox virus. It is a viral infection which can spread between people mediated through close contact and occasionally from the environment to people via things and surfaces that have been touched by a person with mpox. So you see, touched. COVID-19 came, we talk about touching. Ebola came, we talk about touching or shaking hands, if you will. The answer continues. In settings where mpox virus is present among some wild animals, it can only be transmitted from infected animals to people who have contact with them. You getting it? Normally, this thing is for in animals, but people who go around animals too much, the animal can transmit it to you. Following a series of consultations with global experts, WHO have begun using a new preferred term, mpox, as a synonym for monkeypox. A question number one there. Let's go to number two. Number two says, I mean, very, very long, but I will just probably take the important part of it. What are the symptoms of mpox? And that is very important. What are the symptoms of mpox or monkeypox? Mpox can cause range of signs and symptoms. Why some people have less severe symptoms, others may develop more serious illness and need care in a health facility. Common symptoms of mpox include, listen, Common symptoms of mpox include, where am I? Yeah, include a rash which may last for 2 to 4 weeks. When I say rash, you know what I call rash, that name on the skin. This may start with or be followed by fever. Listen, you followed by fever, headache, muscle ache or aches, muscle aches, back pains, low energy, and swallow glands, which is referred to as lymph nodes. The rash looks like blisters or sore. I told you. I told you. The rash looks like blister or sores. It can affect the face, the palms of the hand, sole of the feet, groin, genital, and or anal regions. These lesions may also be found in a mouth, throat, anus, rectum, or vagina, or on the eyes. The number of sores can range from 1 to several thousands. So when the sores start coming out, you small, you're taking it for fun. Before you take your whole body, my dear, you get mpox already. Some people develop inflammation inside the rectum that can cause severe pain, as well as inflammation of the genitals that may cause difficulties urinating. This is very long. Let's leave it there. At least get some of the symptoms there. Let's go to number 3. Number 3 say, how does mpox spread? I want you to go to the World Health Organization website. You see all these things, read them. I'm reading from there. So I will not read the entire thing because the answers are very long. But it's important that you go there to read it to know how these things are spread. Now, the third question is, how does mpox spread? Number 1 is they get it from person to person. That's the first thing, from person to person. That gets in the back of your mind. That you can get mpox, the first thing, from person to person. They say mpox spread from person to person mainly through close contact with someone who has mpox. Close contact includes skin to skin, such as touching or sex. Y'all listen, you y'all are let more bene. Y'all let 2 more bene. Y'all listen. It's a close contact, including skin to skin. Some of you who can say now will attention your friend, such as touching or sex. And mouth to mouth, you're like kissing different people. Mouth to mouth or mouth to skin contact, such as kissing. It can only include being face to face with someone who has mpox, such as talking or breathing close to one another, which can generate infectious respiratory particles. What a time? 4 minutes to 8. Okay. It said during the global outbreak that began in 2022. So it's here, 2022, and we all know about that. The virus mostly spread through sexual contacts. The virus mostly spread through sexual contacts. More research is needed on how mpox spreading through outbreaks in different settings and under different conditions. Very long again. I will stop it there to go to number 4. Number 4 question is, are gay, bisexual, or other men who have sex with men at higher rates of contracting mpox? Let me read a portion of this. It says the rates of mpox not limited. It's not limited to people who are sexually active or gay. So are you gay, you homosexual, you lesbian, you're not restricted. Maybe they can say, yeah. The risk of mpox is not limited to people who are sexually active or gay, bisexual, and other men who have sex with men. Anyone who has close contact with someone who has symptoms is at risk, and any person with multiple sex partners is also at risk. Multiple sex partner. You know, the other girl woman into the house. You're not selling fast. Stay you're going behind us again. You know the getting start or you go behind it. Yeah. Also, the women that get a minute, they want to stick to that minute. They go still go over different minute. Yeah. So let me leave it right there. I don't want anyone not to. Let me come to this other question. It says, how can I protect myself? Good. To protect yourself and others against mpox, know the signs and symptoms, how the virus spreads, what to do if you get ill, and the risks in your area or community. If the virus is spreading in your area or in your community, have open conversations with those you come into close contact with about any symptom or they may have. Avoid close contact with anyone who has mpox, including sexual contacts. Clean your hands. It means wash your hands. So as it stands now, I think FA should put some measures in place that people should have. They see Ebola bucket will be watching how people enter our offices. Yeah, we have, from different background in offices. They say, clean your hands frequently with soap and water or an alcohol-based hand rub. If you think you might have mpox, you can act to protect. Let me leave it right there. Let me join the VOA, man. Yeah. Let me join the VOA quickly. And I'll be right back right after the VOA.
Angela Johnston.
Over the weekend, Israeli forces recovered the bodies of 6 hostages from a tunnel in Gaza. Among them, 23-year-old American-Israeli Hirsch Goldberg Polin. Israel's military said they had been killed recently by Palestinian Hamas militants. The developments have sparked criticism of the Biden administration's Gaza ceasefire strategy. Meanwhile, Israelis are also ramping up pressure on Netanyahu. Protesters took to the streets again on Monday, staying out late into the night in Tel Aviv.
That is Reuters' Angela Johnston reporting. Britain's Foreign Minister David Lammy said Monday that Britain will immediately suspend 30 of its 350 arms export licenses with Israel.
There does exist a clear risk that they might be used to commit or facilitate a serious violation of international humanitarian law.
Lammy said the decision to suspend the licenses did not amount to a blanket ban on arms embargo, but only involved those that could be used in the conflict between Israel and Hamas in the Palestinian enclave of Gaza. British exports amount to less than 1% of the total arms it receives. Russian President Vladimir Putin has arrived in Mongolia, a member of the International Criminal Court that issued an arrest warrant for him. The official visit, in which he is to meet with the Mongolian leader, is Putin's first to a member country of the International Criminal Court since it was issued. This is VOA News. As children across Ukraine returned for the start of the academic year, in the country's second largest city of Kharkiv, they can only do so at an underground school amid Russian bombardment. And in Kyiv, nervous parents accompanied their children to school after loud explosions rocked the capital. Reuters correspondent Rachel Judah.
The first day of school is celebrated in Ukraine with parents buying bouquets of flowers for their children. It's an important occasion that, despite the war, parents continue to mark. Among the buildings damaged early on Monday, part of the university complex in Kiev. 18-year-old student Yulia says she believes Monday's attack was targeted and timed to coincide with the start of the academic year. The Air Force says it destroyed 22 out of 35 missiles and 20 of 23 drones in the attack on Kiev.
Reuters correspondent Rachel Judah. The head of Congo's Mpox response team acknowledges parts of the vast country lack medicine. Reuters correspondent Sean Hogan reporting.
Mpox causes flu-like symptoms and pus-filled lesions, and while usually mild, it can kill. Children, pregnant women, and people with weakened immune systems are at a higher risk of complications. Vaccines are set to arrive within days to fight the new strain of the virus, while Congo's president has allowed a first $10 million disbursement to fight the outbreak. Over 19,000 suspected cases of Mpox have been reported since the start of the year in Congo, according to the health ministry. Of those, 5,000 were confirmed and 655 were fatal.
Reuters correspondent Sean Hogan. A Venezuelan judge has issued an arrest warrant for the opposition former presidential candidate Edmundo Gonzalez as part of a criminal investigation into the results of the disputed July election. The warrant issued Monday comes just over a month after election officials declared President Nicolas Maduro the winner. The warrant was issued at the request of authorities who accuse Gonzalez, a former diplomat, of various crimes, including conspiracy, falsifying documents, and usurpation of powers. It comes just over a month after election officials declared President Nicolas Maduro the winner of the disputed election that his opponents say he actually lost. More at voanews.com. I'm Tommy McNeil, VOA News.
Okay, so welcome back. Welcome back to the show. Yes, so we have to take the news from the VOA, our partner. So very important. So you heard on the VOA news, right? About 19,000 cases have been discovered in Congo. 19,000 cases. And we don't want like to be like that. In Congo alone, 19,000 from the beginning of the year. 19,000 cases. Now in Congo, DR, Congo, that's a Congo anyway. So we need to fight it. Let's go back to our question and answer. We are waiting. Our guests are on their way. I told them 8:15, so we got about 10 more minutes. So we're reading the portion that talks about how can I protect myself, and I stopped somewhere here. Yeah, condom. Okay. Now I stopped to where it says based on your rob. They say if you think you might have import, you can act to protect. I think okay. To protect others by seeking medical advice. And, oh my God. All right, so let me see again. By seeking medical attention, advice, and isolating from others until you have evaluated and tested. You have been evaluated and tested. If you have Mpox, you should isolate yourself from others until your lesions have crusted over. The scabs have fallen off and a new layer of skin had formed underneath. Let's go to the next question. So is it what I'm seeing the whole thing here almost like coronavirus, Ebola? When you get it, isolate yourself from people. When you get it, isolate yourself from people. Don't rub your hand. There's too much shaking hand too. It's good to stop it. There's someone wash our hand regularly with soap or some kind of alcoholic liquid. I'm gonna say. So let's go and say, what do we know about Mpox and sex? Let me read the first paragraph. They'll go somewhere. It says mpox can spread through close contacts of any kind, including through kissing, touching, oral and penetrative vaginal or anal sex with someone who is infectious. People who have sex with multiple or new partners are most likely or are most at risk. We can hear. They say if mpox is spreading through sex in your community or area, consider reducing your risk until the outbreak is brought under control by 1. Opening communication with partners about mpox symptoms and risks. 2. Exchanging contact details with sexual partners so that you can inform each other if you do develop symptoms. 3. Taking a break from having sex. Reducing your number of new sexual partners, one of sexual partners or anonymous sexual partners. Consistently using condoms. Avoiding group sex. Avoiding sex on premises venue such as cruising bar, saunas, dark rooms, commercial sex venues, or any premises where sex is exchanged for money. Avoid using alcohol or drugs in sexual context, including sham sex, and where and when available, by taking up the offer of vaccine. I don't want you to leave it. Because of that question, I have mpox. What do I do to protect what care does someone with mpox need to recover? They say the care someone needs will depend on their symptoms and their risk of developing more severe disease. People with mpox should follow the advice of their healthcare provider. Symptoms typically last for 2 to 4 weeks and unusually go away on their own or with supportive care, such as medication for pain or fever, such as the other medical word, analgesics, anti-reptics. My wife know all they want me on because she's medical woman. Let's go to the next question. Yeah, we'll stay with you for our guests. Why does stigma related to mpox? Is that when there is stigma or discrimination related to a medical condition, people may not seek care quickly, the quality of health care may suffer, and the access to health services for the most vulnerable is reduced. It is possible to prevent or reduce the stigma and discrimination related to mpox through strategies to offer stigma-free care, employ not stigmatizing language, support people in seeking health care, and create an urban environment where the best quality of health care is available. Okay, let's go to the next question. I'm still waiting for my gazo. Today, about here taking it, say, okay. What do I do if my child has good question here? So you the parents listen. Children can catch mpox. If they have close contact with someone who has the symptoms. Children can be exposed to the virus at home from siblings, parents, caregivers, or other family members through close contact. In some settings in Africa, children and adolescents may be exposed through hunting or trapping activities or consumption of insufficiently cooked meat. Those of you who say you like to eat meat when half done, you're listening. The meat done, I let half done me, man. You're listening. You say insufficiently cooked meat. Adolescents who have engaged in sexual activities with someone with mpox can also be exposed. The mpox rash can at first resemble other common childhood illnesses such as chickenpox and other viral infections. If a child you are caring for has symptoms that could be mpox, seek advice from the healthcare provider. They will help to get them tested and to assess the care they need. Let's go to the other one. Is there a treatment for mpox? Good question. Where is it? Yeah. Is there a treatment for mpox? That's a good question. They say many years of research on therapeutic for smallpox have led to the development of products that may also be used for treating mpox. For example, an antiviral developed to test smallpox, that is a Ticoviramat, was improved in January of 2022 by the European Medicine Agency for the treatment of mpox under exceptional circumstances. Experience with these therapeutic in the context of the outbreak of mpox is growing but still limited. For this reason, their use is usually accompanied by enrollment in the clinical trial or expanded access protocol, accompanied by the collection of information that will improve knowledge on how best to use them in future. Okay, folks, I want to leave it there. As days go by, we will be coming here and be reading some of these things for you so that you get a fair idea some of this whole mpox thing. And it is important to know that we have a case in Sino, as said by the Director General of the National Public Health Institute, Dr. Duwe Chris Nya. But I wanted to read this letter quickly before we take our guests. I have not gotten signal that they are around yet. Well, let me see. I have not gotten signal yet. This letter, they think too small, I can see it. But I think it was just something that was confirming. And this press release was released on August 14, 2022. The National Public Health Institute of Liberia, MPhil, is informed of an outbreak of the monkeypox virus, mpox, in several countries of the World Health Organization African region, many in Central and West Africa. The mpox outbreak has been determined by the World Health Organization to be public health emergency of international concern, PHEIC, under the International Health Regulation 2005 HR. Since the beginning of this year, 2024, Liberia has accounted for 5 confirmed cases in 3 counties. In recent times, new cases have been confirmed in neighboring countries like Nigeria and Cote d'Ivoire in the region. Okay. It goes to say mpox is the disease caused by the monkeypox virus, which belong to the same family as the virus that causes smallpox. All of my guests are out there. Okay. It is transmitted through virus modes that include nothing too small. Anyway, but that's a letter that's a press release from MPhil on the 14th of August. Let me take a musical break to find out whether my guests are out there. Got a signal not too long. Let me take this break. When I come back, we continue.
The war crime court is a must. Get now before they gathered and bury. Look at the Habed massacre. Look at the Luchin Church massacre. Look at the Nima raid. Look at the cow feed Duboro massacre. Economic criminals. Bring them to justice now. Bring them to justice now.
Turn the back now you want higher. And the thing that we can't understand. Then you turn the back now you want higher. And the thing that I don't understand. You know you do it, take compare your son. You know you do it, take compare your son. He says you not do it, take compare your son. Then you say you not do it, take compare your son. LAB, what peaceful to the profile, damage, skin has freedom fighters, fools, they talk on Duffer Tabe, but for the greed and power, poor people suffer. Children, malnourished, dry, some of them buffer. But the people they all say they must single fire, what strip bullet, picking up people who were so terrified. Hey man, you go high in the chest of massacre. But they ain't them boss working with the news and that's so far. They don't want raw, all the dirty ways. So the innocent people for free, now they won't get away. You not forget, you rape, kill, cause calamity, all the ground for just for the shame, for you know what with infinity. Spending my own rebellion, I try to justify it was for him and the T-Rex cause nobody said that lie. Everybody now wake up, our voices got a result. Who draw, who not draw, that it's time for us to find out. That one will free our way yellow. That way yellow. That one will free our way yellow. That way yellow. That one will free our way yellow. That way yellow. That one will free our way yellow. You turn the back now you want higher head. And the thing that we can't understand. Then you turn the back now you want higher head. And the thing that I don't understand. You know you do it, take compare your son. You know you do it, take compare your son. Says you not do it, take compare your son. Then you say you not do it, take compare your son. And numbers are simple. So you we know you like a follow, you know I see. You see me go unpunished. Dear, you put in the cookie jar, not something to encourage. Sitting in the country, my Janada, baby hustles by baby cars, while the citizens on strap. Hey, okay, so welcome back to the show. Of course, I just received a call that my guest will not appear, so we're going to take our time with the impulse issue and our opening lines. We're going to interact. We want to know how we all can fight the whole thing about mpox. Look, when you hear about mpox, it should remind you of coronavirus or COVID-19. COVID-19. Yes. So MPhil yesterday confirmed that another case. And on the 14th, I was reading the MPhil letter, but I did not conclude because I thought I got a message that some of them. All right. So let me just read the MPhil letter, and then maybe take one or two more questions and answers from the website of the World Health Organization. Then I open the lines and we'll talk. Look, now time for Liberian people to talk. How you think we can fight the whole thing of mpox? There's a case now in Sino. Okay, so let me read this MPhil press release. And the press release it was released on the 14th of August, and some of all been reading it, but the issue is that we need to take this serious. I know the State House on Doubting Thomas is out there. So let me read this communication from MPhil. It said the National Public Health Institute of Liberia, MPhil, is informed of an outbreak of the monkeypox viral imports for shot in several countries of the World Health Organization African region, mainly Central and West Africa. This mpox outbreak has been determined by the WHO to be public health emergency of international concern, PHERC, on the International Health Regulation 2005 RHR. Since the beginning of this year, 2024, Liberia has accounted for 5 confirmed cases in 3 counties. Your year A. Since the beginning of the year, 2024, Liberia has accounted for 5 confirmed cases in 3 counties. Unfortunately, they didn't name the counties anyway. They say in recent times, new cases have been confirmed in neighboring countries like Nigeria
and Cote d'Ivoire in the region. So if you can travel too much, be careful. Because I see where someone travel, they came by the broad coronavirus. It's not coronavirus. So the mpox is a disease caused by the monkeypox virus, which belongs to the same family as the virus that causes smallpox. It is transmitted through various modes that include direct skin-to-skin contact, sexual contact with bodily fluids, or lesions formed around the anus, rectum, or vagina from an mpox-infected person, and through respiratory secretion and droplets, among others. Symptoms include fever, chill, headache, swallow limbs, nodes, muscle aches, among others. Let's go. Noting the nature of this outbreak and its rapid spread over several countries, the National Public Health Institute of Liberia, NPHIL, will heighten its surveillance system, strengthen its outbreak preparedness plan, and will work in collaboration with the Ministry of Health to activate measures and specific response mechanism so as to address any impending outbreak of mpox in Liberia. Meanwhile, the public is strongly advised to take the following preventive measures, such as constant washing hands, avoid sex with persons suspected of living with mpox symptoms, avoid close contact with persons suspected with mpox symptoms, avoid animal contacts, and report to the nearest medical facility should you experience or observe any of the mpox symptoms listed above. Signed, Dr. Dubai Chris Young, MD, Director General, National Public Health Institute of Liberia, and NPHIL. So he got it. So even before the case yesterday in Sino, Liberia have had 5 cases in 3 counties. In as much as they didn't name the counties, but we have 5 cases in 3 counties already. Maybe if you add them 1 or 6 now. But the National Public Health Institute of Liberia is saying that they and the Ministry of Health will fight tirelessly to making sure that aside from that 5 cases that we had, that we'll not have another case again. But we still having case. There's a case now. So the point is that, yes, we agree that the government entities and health facilities will fight to making sure that everybody get informed and treated, just in case there's a case. But what can we do to as citizens of this country? As residents of Liberia, I don't want to say citizens because we have foreigners in our midst. What can we do to prevent the whole thing about mpox spreading? That is the same way COVID, I want to start with Ebola. It's the same way Ebola came in Liberia. When Ebola came, somebody, I think it came from through Lofa. Yeah, through Lofa. From Guinea, it went to Lofa. The person left from Guinea to Lofa. And when that person got to Lofa, that's how Ebola spread in Liberia and killed so many people. Fast forward, we came to COVID-19. The COVID-19 came. In fact, we were hearing these stories around about COVID-19. The same thing that happened to how they call it Ebola. When Ebola was coming, people say, oh no, man, that the government of Liberia was designing strategy to eat money for international community. People said that. Some of us, our shows that we're hosting then, people called the show and said the same thing. We're convincing them. Someone else said, no, the government of Liberia is designing strategy because they don't eat money from UN. So people disregarded that and started doing their own thing in spite of the government putting in measures. They disregarded that and started doing their own thing. The Ebola started spreading. It left from Lofa. It started coming small to came to Monserrato. When it got to Monserrato, it spread like a wildfire. The same thing happened again when COVID-19 came. We were hearing about COVID-19 in other countries. When the government are taking measures to probably curtail or stop it from coming to Liberia, to the various airports and stuff like that, the entry points, guess what? A government official travel and brought in the country. That same thing they can say, you know me, you know who I am. You got to the airport, bam, you know who I am. Sneak, he came, brought the COVID-19 Liberia. That is spread more than even wildfire. Started destroying people's lives in this country. Now, impact is here. What can we do as citizens, as residents, as people of Liberia to stop the spread of the mpox? What can we do? Mind you now, if what I read from the WHO website, the questions and answers, you will know that, I mean, it's almost similar to COVID-19 and how they call it, Ebola. When it comes to prevention, it's almost similar thing. Wash your hands, avoid close contact, avoid sexual contact, avoid all type of things. Yeah, avoid this, avoid that. Let me go to that aspect where I say, how can you prevent it? I want you to listen. Oh my God. No, I don't want what the symptom. How can it be spread? How can I protect myself from getting mpox? Listen to it. Listen to it. I'm saying this to say that, look, the same measures that were supposed to put in place or were supposed to put in place to stop the spread of COVID-19 and Ebola is the same thing. Listen. To protect yourself and others against mpox, know the signs and symptoms, how the virus spreads. What to do if you get it, and the risks in your area or community. Hey man, I don't want to spreading, man. I think about protection. Okay, protect. Look here. Okay, let me come here. If the virus is spreading in your community or areas, blah blah blah, have open conversation with the. No, I want to where they can say protection. What you should do, I won't go there. And so that our people will listen to this one. They will go. Y'all go and read it. Avoid these things. Let me see. There you go. I can see it. But the thing is that simple thing. They say, look, avoid close contact. Avoid close contact. Wash your hands regularly with soap. If you can't use soap, where you're having those things they call sanitizers. I suppose say something related to alcohol. Use it frequently. That your 2 months sexual activity. You get a woman to your house, but you're not satisfied. You still going behind another woman outside. You don't know about health history. You get a man to your house, but you don't care about that man. You get another boyfriend outside. You don't know about how they call it health history. Avoid that. You get a woman to your house, you're not kissing her. You get a man to your house, you're not kissing him. But you prefer to kiss people, somebody from outside. Avoid, stop it. No, I let it all up to you. I said the thing is almost. I mean, for me, I think the difference I see here is that the COVID-19 and the Ebola, they were bad. When they catch you, my brother, almost like stomach running, you finish. But the mpox, it puts rashes on your skin. And I hope some of you will just see the pictures of what they call mpox. I've seen the pictures. So many. When mpox catches you and it gets severe, the rashes upon your skin, it's not easy. But they call it, to prevent yourself or to protect yourself from getting the mpox is similar to COVID-19 and Ebola. So for those of you who are doubting Thomases, who are out there and say that, look, because of what I said before, that the government, the then government, under President Sirleaf or Ebola time, was doing everything possible to get money from the international community. I remember that time, Draper and myself had this Saturday show every Saturday morning. They have people with cases at the 12, I know what they call it, Allen Clinic. And we managed through our then workmate, Titi Jibro, because she was living on our end. We spoke to a few patients at that particular location at Allen Clinic who were having this Ebola. And they were complaining about people not treating them fair, blah, blah, blah. In fact, they came to a point that morning, Saturday morning, someone else said, oh, John, what the fence? Someone else said, well, John, what the fence? So Titi managed, she went there. We talked to Titi talked to a few of them. You know what happened? We on the scene where that money already, and somebody from the mansion called Draper said, oh, the person listening to you, she on her way to Allen Clinic now. Person Selif. I Draper that question, Titi. To tell you. The moment spoke to Titi and Titi get a phone to some of the affected people who were there who said they were going to jump on the fence on the radio. Somebody from the mansion called Draper immediately. So the person is monitoring you. She on her way to the Allen Clinic now. Now the person went and managed to stop that. But the point I'm making there is that we should not take the impulse for granted. We should not take the impulse for granted. For me, in my own mind, I'm just taking impulse to be on the coronavirus or COVID-19 because the treatment almost, the protection almost the same. Now, if you go out there and say, you can't share somebody here to get for you, we say we're shaking our friend forget it. My I want to start getting first. Oh, so let me get a coronavirus carrying it. Let me get Ebola carrying it around and say, no, that measure. We had the COVID-19 buckets in front of our office. Before you enter, you must wash your hand. People came there telling to wash their hand, forget it, they won't fight off. You know why those things were happening? Because they were doubting Thomases. They doubted that it was real. Some of them were saying that the government was playing tricks to eat money until they saw the trickle-down effect before they came to themselves. And we went places, we saw patients. Look, Liberians, if we are not taking anything serious in this country before, let's take this important serious. The World Health Organization, what did they tell the MPhil? They call it, and come here, I want to read it. They call it, now they say this mpox outbreak has been determined by the WHO to be a public health emergency of international concern, PHERC. Public health emergency. So the World Health Organization are written it supposed to be. And I encourage you to go on the WHO website and read these questions. There's one question that I saw. I think I want to read it quickly before I open the lines. Now, they say, is there a vaccine against mpox? Let me read a portion of this because it's very, very long. The answer is very long. It said, yes. The same way they brought a COVID-19 vaccine. It said, yes, there are vaccines recommended by WHO for use against mpox. Many years of research have led to the development of newer and safer vaccines for an eradicated disease called smallpox. Some of these vaccines have been approved in various countries for use against mpox. Listen, they say at present, WHO recommends use of MVA/BN or LC16 vaccine or the ACAM 2000 vaccine when the others are not available. So these things, all the that are medical people, they know about the vaccine, and so we only read it. But when you go to medical, may say MVA/BN or LC16 vaccine, or you go say ACAM 2000 vaccine, they will understand. So what I'm saying for sure is that the MPOG got vaccine. Is that COVID-19? COVID-19, I want to have vaccine until the latter part of it. And the vaccine, thankfully, our partners brought the vaccine. People doubted the vaccine again, saying that the vaccine that they bring it to make people more safe to die. You see how that bragging thing? That is what that is affecting us in this country. People doubt things too much. At a point in time, we're supposed to take serious measures against something, not to affect us. At that point, some people will be there and be doubting and playing like a dassical attitude. So what happens is that because of their like a dassicality, we will spread. Sometimes I speak English, I like English, you know. But that's a reality. Liberia without things too much. I'm gonna play the voice of that Dubai president again. You mentioned there's a case in Sino. Wait, my Bluetooth. Thank you. My Bluetooth on. So yeah, Google. Thank God that they both get. We can use Bluetooth on it. Google, real sophisticated bow. You getting me? I want to play a voice again. There's a case in Sino. Alabro, and the president, a private day I get read from the Enfield that was dated August, I think August 14 or something. They said before the WHO informed the Liberian government and other government around the world about the outbreak of mpox, Liberia already expressed that already have 5 cases in the private day I read. So those 5 cases now, if you include the 1 case that inside, that's 6 cases. You see how it's growing? But thankfully, the one that inside, the director said the person doesn't have any travel history. So the person is just residing in that particular locality. I forget the town name. So whether they can trace it. But there'll also be contact tracing because they pay the person living. It is possible that somebody must have gone in contact with that person and have traveled. Let me play the voice of Dr. Dubai Christian first, Director General of Enfield. Then I'll take your calls on 0777 777 107 or 0777 221 223. If you're watching us out of Liberia, the WhatsApp number is +231 777 221 223. Because I want Liberians to get involved in this. It is no time for us to doubt. In fact, if our best, by this time, we should even start seeing the Ebola bucket into the various government ministries and agencies and even workplaces before you enter, you wash your hand. By this time, but I think NFL will work on that to give some regulations. Let's listen to Dr. Christian. You see? Not time for all the doubt. Not time for all the doubt. There has some people doubted in this country that their family got affected greatly before they could realize they were late.
Now, in the last 24 hours, there were samples sent from Sino County. They suspected 8 cases.
Yeah.
May follow up, meaning contact tracing those who came in contact with any of these 8 persons. Now, there's one person who may have been the patient 0 or suspect 0. And from that point, the family members are taking care of this person because they show all the symptoms. This is just for your bio data, and there will be no name called to respect the HIPAA regulation. This is a 7-year-old female, had no travel history, never traveled from Sino, and this place is located in one of the deeper part of Sino called Jidepo. The very district, the very area is the Goodwoken. It's the Goodwoken. So those of you who are from that area, you can imagine the territory. Now, in the last 24 hours, there were samples sent from Sino County. They suspected 8 cases.
Samples sent from Sino County. Suspected 8 cases. And 1 person was affected. Yeah. So add on 1% to the 5 that were already there before the WHO sent a letter to the government. So now it's 10, as it stands, it'll be 6 cases, right? That's how it grows. Anyway, let's hear you. Have your say on it. It's our own health. It's our country. Are we waiting or are we prepared to welcome this other virus again? We got affected by Ebola. We got affected by COVID-19. And now Mpox is here. Mpox is here. Before even the WHO wrote the government of Liberia informing them about the outbreak of Mpox in West Africa and Central Africa, we have 5 cases already. As per the press release from the MFIL. So that 5 that cases out there, but they 1 not 6. Yeah, left for you. 07777 221 are the numbers you can call to participate. Unfortunately, our guest disappointed us today, so thank God we are still going on with COVID-19. I mean, our Mpox issue. Let's hear you. How can we, as residents of Liberia, prevent this thing from spreading? And the only problem I get with MFIL was that in a press release, they said 5 counties. We got 5 cases from 3 counties. Why did they name the counties in a press release? So that we know. But you just come, you say we got 5 cases in 3 counties. Where are the counties? Which counties are those counties? But you came out yesterday and named Sino with 1 case. Mpox is real, is here. If you're listening to me out there, what I want you to do for me is that please go on the website of the WHO, and these questions and answers about Mpox are posted there. They were posted on the 17th of August 2024. Let's hear you. 07777 What can we do to fight this whole thing about Mpox? It's confirmed that Mpox in Liberia now, we have cases. Recent one in 24 hours, we have less than 24 hours. He said we have a case now in Sino. You know the town and it's not easy for me. All that yeah. So not that for all the doubt this thing, yo. Not that for all the doubt it. And see where we doubted COVID-19, Ebola in the country affected us. Until the government had even declared state of emergency. Oh, you know. Good morning. David E. Harris. Good morning.
Thank you for your recognition, my brother. Thanks for the show this morning. Julius, I think it is about now that the MFIL or the Ministry of Health to ensure that they hire most of the radio stations across the country to ensure that they inform the public on the issue of the Mpox. I think what you're doing this morning, I think you're helping the Ministry of Health on informing or educating the public on the identical health emergency. So this is real. I think we should abide by all of the laws, the rules and regulations that the World Health Organization have put up. So I just want to thank you this morning, and we hope and pray that the Ministry of Health and MFIL will get involved in hiring most of the radio stations across the country to inform the public. Thank you, Julius.
Thank you, David E. Harris. And I think it's about time that MFIL start supporting measures now. Yes. If our MFIL boss, by this time, I have measures posted around and sent around to various ministries and agencies, even work private offices. Good morning.
Good morning, Julius.
Good morning. Good morning. What's your name?
Yeah, my name is Ali Padikoma. I'm picking family. I'm going for one car.
I'm picking. Let's hear you better.
Yeah, let me tell you. Thank you the morning for your analysis. You see, you are the media. You're doing well. The kind of thing happening in the country. There is a time for the government to come to the media, at least to give the media some money. I know why the government and let to give media money. There is time for to give the media the money to put a particular thing in bar, Madingo Pele, in all our systems, while influence in whatever thing we can speak in the country that you be able to put into your viewer, the message will be able to go to our people in the interior. Because now some people taking out of phone. Some people saying, Ellen brought Ebola, and Jawia bring coronavirus, now Joseph Bagatu, like, when you bring it, some people not believing anything. So to carry the message around, we call on the government at least to see how best to get the media some money. Just say, I've been there, you're paying worker, you're buying fuel. Some of you buy money to put in meter. But for you to be saying every time, and when somebody happy to go with press conference, we need jingle on all the radio station, community radio station. Yes, but for you to be saying every time, media become all this. Because now, let me tell you, when fire around now, somebody on the street every day, telling you being the street, now putting me right now, TV cars, we know how we can be hearing. Who saying, Joseph Bakana, signal in Benin. And we did not Joseph Bakana.
People saying it. People saying it. People say Sadi brought Ebola. Joe, we have brought the COVID-19. I said Joseph Bakana bring Mpox.
Thank you. So they need to get some money to you. You know, Boogie, they need to give us some money. So that you at least you put on the media.
Thank you.
Somehow when you see Vaza,
thank you. Thank you very much. My brother, we chose to do this work for Liberian people. The same way we fought COVID-19, we fought Ebola, nobody came to us to give us money. We still do it because we are serving the public. My bossman team has to say something on his show every time when he said, the death of one person diminishes my know something like that. If one Liberian person die, it affects our country. So we always talk about these things. Why, of course, I can even go on MPhil Facebook page and reuse something from there. From MPhil, National Public Health Institute Facebook page. It says Liberia confirmed first import case. First import case, they confirm. This was posted 16 hours ago, I believe it yesterday. The Director General of the National Public Health Institute of Liberia, Dr. Dube Chris Nyan, today, September 2nd, disclosed to the media that Liberia now has its first import case since the declaration of the virus as a public health emergency of international concern by the World Health Organization, WHO Director Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus on August 14, and the African Center for Disease Control, Africa CDC. Addressing the press, the Director General said the confirmation or the confirmed case is a 7-year-old female from Jedopo, Dudroken, Sano County. The Director General also informed the press that the Incident Management System, IMS, has been activated. The IMS is the body responsible for mobilizing resources and coordinating the response to an outbreak. Thank God. Small. The Community Division of MPhil will update the public as the situation unfolds. However, we encourage you to follow the public health measures. I found something different here because in the press release that I read, let me go back to it. Maybe I made a mistake because they say this is the first case. I won't go back to that press release that I read. Yeah, I'm finding something difficult to understand here. Okay, where is it? Can I find it quick? I don't know why I found it. They said it's the first case, but in the press release I read, they say Liberia had 5 cases before the World Health Organization told Liberians. I don't know, where is it? Let me find it here. I beg you, I want to see this thing. I want to read. I don't want to mislead Liberians. They're not A there. No, they're not A. Amen. It's in way somewhere. Yeah, I want to read it quickly before my time up. I want to read it. No. Yeah, hold on. I want to read. So I want to understand something, and that's why I'm doing this. I want to understand something here. Okay, here's it. Let me read this. There's an aspect what I read, and okay, let me read this particular first paragraph. And this press release was published on the 14th of August. So let me read this. And I want to correct myself because what I just read from MPhil Facebook page, I see it as a contradiction. Let me see it quickly. It said Monrovia, Liberia, August 14, 2024. The National Public Health Institute of Liberia, MPhil, is informed of an outbreak of monkeypox virus, mpox for short, in several countries of the WHO Africa region, mainly Central and West Africa. The mpox outbreak has been determined by the World Health Organization to be public health emergency of international concern under the International Health Regulation 2005. Since the beginning of this year, 2024, Liberia has accounted for 5 confirmed cases in 3 counties or 3 countries. Oh, okay. So, 3 counties. So they want to say confirmed first import case. I'm confused. Because in the press release, you said something here that we had it before the report told us. Let me see. Let me read it again. It says since the beginning of this year, 2024, Liberia has accounted for 5 confirmed cases in 3 counties. In recent times, new cases have been confirmed in the Boroki. So I don't know why they wrote there yesterday to say 5 cases in Liberia. Well, you say that Liberia have accounted for 5 cases in 3 counties. Anyway, they know how to explain themselves better. But if there is something to go by, what you wrote on your press release on the 14th of August, and comparing this with that of what you posted yesterday on your Facebook page, that the headline is Liberia confirmed first import case, then for me, I think it's a contradiction there. Because you can't say in your press release, say before, in 2024, you have accounted for 5 cases in 3 counties. Then now, the one stand is the first case. How come? Anyway, they probably know the body will tell. So that's it, folks. We should not take anything for granted. Let's be serious with anything about mpox. And for me, I think the simplest way we can handle this thing is we just take it to be like COVID-19 or Ebola. Because we know doubting Thomases are here. They will doubt it. People will doubt it. In fact, people are now saying that President Salif was in power, she introduced or she brought Ebola. And now they say Joey Akin, he brought, how do you call it? He brought COVID-19. Now they say that because you might can bring mpox. So it's how the trend is going. But the MPhil has a lot of work to do. If our MPhil by this time start sending communication to all these public places, ministries and agencies, private offices, that they should have the Ebola bucket posted at the front of the door before you enter, you wash your hand. In fact, post start buying sanitizer. Look, if you get money, buy a sanitizer because it's going to get expensive. If you get money, buy alcohol because it's going to get expensive. So that's it, folks. Today, our guest disappointed us. And I have a serious issue with every Kwan. You can't call me again on the issue. Trust me. After you myself spoke, all the money say, man, people want to wake up. Then later you can't call me and say, you have issue. You want what? Okay, folks. Thanks for being there. Thanks for joining us. I'll be here tomorrow morning again, another edition. Today I said we're not going to talk politics because we wanted to discuss something important to our nation. And so we did. But coming at 10:30 this morning, the program 50-50 comes your way. And as we said yesterday, it is the same. We're going to be having our guest this morning on 50-50 will be Councillor Gloria Musu Scout, former Chief Justice, Senator, Election Commissioner, and you name the rest, who was recently released from prison. She's going to be our guest this morning on program 50-50. But there's a topic. Councillor Gloria Musu Scott was cleared of all murder charges by the Supreme Court of Liberia. But what are her stories and experience during her trial and incarceration? What is her new mission after her detention? The story of the good, the bad, and the ugly. Our guest this morning will be Councillor Gloria Musu Scott. And your host is Timas Grate. On that note, let me say thanks to all of you for joining me. Tomorrow I'm going to be here again. All in the interest of making our country, Mama Liberia, a better place. Have yourselves a wonderful time. My name is Julius Boki. Until I catch you when I catch you again, let me officially say goodbye for today.